I'm recapping a brand new show, Jersey Belle, Knish Out of Water, Season 1, Episode 1. So let me tell you why I am recapping this show. I tweeted, I don't know, a month or two ago, that the commercial looked awful and that it would probably be a huge success and run for like a billion years because I've had the worst year guessing who's good and who's bad. Anyway, Jaime, the star of the show, tweeted me back and said, you know, like, are you serious? And I was like, ugh, you know. And I was like, yeah, I think the commercial's really been poor, but I've had awful luck at picking shows, so maybe it'll be a success. She's like, oh, we'll just give it a shot. And she was really nice. And I'm a huge sucker for nice people. Like, just in real life, if you're nice to me to my face, there's a good chance I'm gonna, you know, like, you're gonna be able to get me to do what you want. So I thought, okay, she seems pretty cool. I tweeted that my father-in-law was at the hospital, and she, not to her, but just in general, she followed me back. I was like, okay, I'm willing to give it a shot. I've been there. I hosted a show on a totally different station, much smaller audience. It wasn't just about me. It was a competition show. But I understand being in that position and wanting a show to fail. And I'm just a jerk that I'm going to overlook that. So anyway, I decided I will go ahead and I will recap the show. And I'm glad I did because it's a much better show than the commercial. The commercials are awful. I don't know what's happening, but I feel like I watched the show and it was like kind of sort of related to the commercial, but not really. So anyway, to get to the show, we meet Jaime. She is a publicist. I don't really know what that does. I'm guessing we're going to find out more. Does she help people become more famous? Because that's what I need. I figure like I'm almost there, but clearly I'm going to be super famous sometime soon. So I might as well get my ducks in order. She is married to Michael, who is super cute. Very handsome guy. Good job, Jaime. He seems really, really nice. They have 3 children, and they are clearly very much in love, which for me, this is already the good setup for a show. I hate watching couples fight on TV. It's just so difficult to watch people in love when their relationship is basically crumbling around them. I find it awkward. I don't enjoy watching it. They're clearly amazingly in love, and so that's like for me a good basis of the show. According to the intro, she has like 6 friends that are, I'm guessing, are like official cast members. And as near as I can tell, we met 4 of them. 3 of them in depth, and then 1 like came over briefly. So this is a very typical episode. We're kind of setting up the whole thing. She's from Jersey. She's a publicist. She met her husband in a coffee shop, and then he bought her a drink, and then a year later she comes back to the same coffee shop, and he walks in, ooh, and they fall in love. They do a long-distance relationship for over a long period of time. He moves super slow, and then they get engaged, and it's just adorable. She is from Central Jersey, which I feel is important because when I hosted my show, we had a guy from South Jersey, and he made a big deal about how South Jersey is not North Jersey. North Jersey is like Jersey Shore, and he's South Jersey, which is more country. So she's Central Jersey, so I guess she's in between those. I don't know anything about Alabama at all. I know that USA Archery is having their outdoor nationals there next summer. So I consider this to be research as I am crossing my fingers, hopefully back into competing shape by then. It's also Olympic trials, so... Anyway, we meet Arden. She is very thin. She's blonde. She's in the process of getting married. This will be her 3rd marriage. It sounds like she's married into local royalty, as they say. She is brittle. For lack of a better word, she feels very crispy around the edges, very delicate, like if you put her down too harshly, she'll crack. And that's not a physical description. That's sort of how I would describe almost her personality and how she's coming across, like she's under a lot of stress. And it's not a criticism of her personality. It's more of like a state of being where she's at. I'm kind of already tentatively feeling like she's going to crack at some point. We meet Luci, who is divorced and a passionate advocate of how awesome Jaime is. Something happened in her divorce and it really turned the town against her. There's clearly more to the story than we're hearing, and I don't mean in the sense that if we knew more we would know that Luci's at fault, so much as the pieces right now aren't all clicking together, and that might just be because she doesn't want to badmouth her ex, or there's something that she doesn't want to share. I don't know, but I just feel like there's more to the story. But She seems really, really sweet. Same with Danielle. And I can already tell that Danielle is going to break my heart this season. Oh, I'm already getting emotional. She's been married. She lives in a gorgeous house. She has a great husband. She's got 2 dogs that she loves, which I can relate to. I got one of my little furry ones here. And they've been trying to have kids for 4 years, and they're just kind of waiting on God's timing. And it's clear, oh my gosh, ignore me. It's clear that's going to be a really difficult season for her because it sounds like they're going to touch on all the things that are very close to my heart. Oh my goodness. Okay, moving on. We meet one other friend, Leanne. I don't know if she's a normal cast member, but she like had her name, so I'm guessing maybe she's a cast member. She comes over to help Jaime cook. So separate from meeting everyone, we have a few things that happen, which is that we see Arden's tea party, which I believe is basically a bridal shower, and all the ladies are doing their thing, and they have Jaime make some dish I've never heard of. Like, it looks like it's like blue cheese and grapes or something. I don't even understand it. And apparently no one knows what a cannoli is. And I'm like, how could you have not heard of a cannoli? Like, what are you people doing in your free time that you don't know what a cannoli is? Because I can't even say that I've had that many cannolis. But they're like a pastry dessert. I know my desserts. People should know these things. Like, if there's good food out there, you should have heard of it. Anyway, none of them heard of cannolis, and I do agree that lasagna is not exactly a tea food because normally teas you have food that you can eat, and I believe you're supposed to be able to eat them with gloves, but a cannoli, like mini cannolis, like if they were like that big, like those would be perfect. Like, oh, so good. Anyway, so we see that, and we see Arden show up just like super, like she's made of glass, super brittle, and I guess her to-be mother-in-law didn't come to the tea. They're not really sure she's going to come to the wedding. She's only met her once. It's kind of nerve-wracking. And then we go to the dress fitting. And I'm with Jaime with this. Like, I like my girlfriends, and there's probably a lot that I would do for them. Although very few of my, like, closest friends live nearby. They're, like, in Austin, in San Jose, Connecticut. They're all over the place. But I would, especially if you're being filmed, like, I do all that crap. But I wouldn't necessarily be, like, super excited about a dress fitting. Like, but they figure out somehow that Jaime's current flight is not supposed to come back until, like, she's going to land like 30 minutes into Arden's ceremony. So, not good. But I mean, I do agree with Jaime. Like, if she has a job, you know, like, you got to do your job. I guess she's the publicist for Wayne Brady, if I piece together the previews. And then we see previews, and it was like the previews went, and like made a total like right hand turn straight into like dark town. It was super, like, I was crying. Someone said something about an abortion. I was like, I don't know if I can watch this. Like, you know, something with infertility, there might be a miscarriage. I was like, this might be too emotionally difficult for me to watch. Like, Bravo, come on. Like, I don't know if I'm emotionally mature enough for this. So anyway, I'll stick it through as long as I can, as long as I'm not like sobbing through stuff, and I can make it through the recaps without crying, for goodness sakes. But anyway, I say it's a good show. I think you should go check it out.